Any one of you, if you can switch on your camera just for a while,
Okay.
because I feel kind of I'm talking to no one.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what about this, like, what is it all about, this session? Like, I know it's Q&A, but
About the
like what,
student government, we are conducting elections currently.
like, you
Do
will
you know,
describe
have you voted
student
for the
government to
GL?
know regarding it?
Yes, let's start.
I
One
have
second.
not, I have not actually. Yeah,
Yeah, let me take your question later. Let's just formally
yeah,
start. Okay.
yes.
Good evening, everyone. And let's have this kind of informal session on a discussion about student elections of IIT MBS program. And the major thing I realized after like having lots of discussion with the student community at large is that many are not aware about the student government and how elections are conducted and what are the expectations from our end and what do they get out of this. Many questions, and if I just open the forum for questions, I'll have even more questions. And yeah, so the objective of this session is to clarify your doubts and kind of give you even for the people who have nominated themselves for the UHC elections, they will kind of have clarity on what we expect from them and what they can expect from us. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, let's start the discussion. Because before I give you any, if I keep explaining, it's already in the website, there are 12 houses and what is the structure, student government structure. And also when we communicated with respect to elections, the elections committee, you haven't met them yet. And I could introduce few of them who are available now. Puneet and who else is here? They are the people who are working behind the scenes. They are the part of the election committee who are organizing the elections, helping the student affairs. So yeah, there are lots of information in the student handbook, in our website about student life, and even we kept communicating how the elections are conducted, etc., etc. And the other thing is, if I keep explaining it the same, it will be kind of like a lecture. So I just would like to quickly get into the Q&A session. And I want to know how much you have, you know about the student government. I just want to test the waters. Okay, so let's start taking questions. I think if the election committee members, if some are here, you can just say hi to others so that they know that you are the one working hard behind the scenes.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here. We've got a lot of people asking us questions, and Kodai ma'am said that it's best to have a Q&A session as an open session for all. We look forward to your questions, your suggestions, anything that you might have, right? So you already know there have been some changes in the mentoring committee in the way we did the group leader elections. So let's hear your feedback, let's hear your questions, and let's have a quick, crisp meeting today. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet. Yeah, let's start taking questions. I think Abhishek, you wanted to ask in the beginning. Let's start from you.
I mean,
So,
like, I just wanted to ask what was this session all about. I got my answer.
okay, fine. You wanted to know. And which level are you? Have you voted for the GL election?
No, I mean, like, I was still like when the GL elections was going on, I was like still doing what was going on. I was like picking out still. But by the time it was over and the UHC elections, I mean, like nominations like started. So as I am of 25 each, just entered 25. In a way,
Okay, you
I'm not
can.
applying for group leader. So I thought of applying for mentor. So
Okay,
I
fine.
applied for mentor. Yeah, and yeah, I'm just thinking, like, let's see what happens.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So anyone else? No questions. I think it was very clearly given. It's a Q&A session. Yeah, Veda Samhit. Go ahead. Was it by mistake, Veda?
Yeah, sorry about that. It was a misclick.
Okay, fine. Some Leno Them has asked why is there no president this time? So I think we had a student executive council in the last term, not in the last term, the term before last. That was from September 2021 to April 2022. So yeah, with respect to the structure, we would like to give you a glance of why there are lots of changes that's happening every now and then. Because we as a student community, having a student community, having a student government and running elections and all those things, this is kind of quite new for such a huge scale, and that too on an online mode. Okay, so we tried, it's not an easy task, and getting students to participate and be committed to their task, it's very difficult. So we are kind of in a way experimenting in each term or each level. We are trying out new things and we are trying to figure out what went wrong, how can we improve it, and all those stuff. And due to various reasons, we thought we didn't have a student executive council for the first from the start of the program. We didn't have for nearly for a year. And then we had a student executive council, and due to various reasons, we thought, let us do away with the student executive council, just putting pressure on. What happened was, I know some group leaders, if there are some old group leaders from 2021 would know, we were having every month, I was having discussion as a student affairs head. I did meet with the students, the group leaders every month, like each group leader as a house council meet. So we used to discuss. And then what happened once the SEC came up, we had, I was totally, the power was kind of accumulated with the student executive council, and we were kind of planning in a centralized way from the top, and student affairs was discussing everything with the student executive council, and we were trying to implement that way. And kind of student affairs, as a student affairs, we lost touch with the group leaders and the house councils. So, and due to various other, when we implement something, how it was, and then I realized that we were kind of moving away from the grassroots level, and it was more kind of centralized, and it didn't work. So then we thought, let's go ahead just having the upper house council, so that we'll concentrate more with the houses. And due to that change, and because we had paradox, we didn't conduct elections for the last one term, which the UHC elections were supposed to be held on during the month of April 2022. And we kind of somehow managed with just the group leaders, thanks to the group leaders who kind of managed it just without any upper house council or anyone in the last term. Yeah, so we are here. So we thought, let us go ahead and with the original structure of student government, just having the group leaders and then the upper house council in place. The upper house council, which consists of all the secretaries and deputy secretaries of all the 12 houses. And there is one change now again. We used to have 3 mentors elected in each house, and one mentor, one mentor was chosen for the upper house council. So they used to be part of the upper house council. Okay, so the mentors part were kind of, they used to conduct elections and they used to take care of any they played an advisory role to the secretaries and deputy secretaries of the house. And it was kind of the response and the commitment from the mentors. It was it was not very motivating for them, we could say. So the structure that we had, the mentors should be used in a much efficient manner than the way that they were used in the previous structure. So then we thought, let us use the mentors in a different way, because we have wonderful people, well qualified people who are ready to be engaged with the student community, but in a different in a different dynamic rather the way that they were so far. So that's why we have made them that there are no elections for the mentors. So anyone 25 and above who are willing to contribute to the student community, they can nominate as mentors. And the nominated mentors, we have from the student affairs, we'll have a skill set or a pool of mentors who are interested to contribute with different skill sets. And based on, as we progress from here, we are trying to implement many new things within the student activities, which the major part is, as you all know, the paradox has happened in May, and then we had Savan, that is for this season. So Savan in paradox during Savan, and then we'll be having paradox during Margali, that is the Tamil month for the December, January. And then we'll have the annual fest of the paradox during May. Okay, so for this setup of events, we are kind of trying, we are even thinking of even using the secretaries and deputy secretaries, how they can be involved in the events. And that's why we had this session, so that you not only ask questions, but you can also give your feedback and suggestions. So we are evolving. So let us, evolve and grow together and make the student government much better. Okay. So let me not go on and on. So I think I answered many questions in that. What is the other question is? Okay. So Parth Bansal, he's asking, he has been elected as the group leader of 202, but he doesn't know where to gather the information. Like, is there the space for that? Parth Bansal, can you just speak to me now?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Which house are you from?
Vinod house, ma'am. Am I?
You?
Hello.
Sorry?
And the house, ma'am.
No, which house are you from?
I think it's trying to say Wayanad House.
Okay,
Maybe.
Wayanad house. Okay, fine.
Yeah, even he
So
mentioned.
are you not part of the Wayanad, that G space? Path? Okay, there is kind of, anyway, I can generally answer. There are lots of questions from new students as well, because I have been allotting houses and groups, and they come back asking where to go, how do I approach the rest of the group leaders, or rest of the group members or house members, how do I approach? So far, it has been kind of not a proper, we didn't have a standard operating procedure of that kind. It was kind of informal. Usually the house secretary, the previous house secretary and the previous group leader, they used to, we have published the whole list of all the students with their respective groups and houses, right? So the group leaders, the existing group leaders or the ex-group leaders or the ex-secretaries, they are supposed to find out the new members and add them in the G space or WhatsApp chat group, whichever they use for communicating with the house members. That's how it is done. But unfortunately, because we didn't have elections for the last one term for the UHC, the secretaries were kind of, they were not active. And it was totally on the GLs to add the new members. So unfortunately, if that group didn't have an active group leader, then no one added them. So I think it's kind of a chicken or egg situation. Maybe I kind of, I need to wait for the new secretary to be elected, and maybe the secretary will add everyone. But for a person who is elected as a GL, first step from the POD side, what we can do is, we are supposed to do, but just because we were caught up with something else, some other work, there is a group for group leaders, where POD is part of. So we do, that is how we interact. Okay. So we will add you in that group. In that group, you would be able to interact with all the group leaders. There are 352 group leaders, supposed to be, if all groups elect a group leader. So there would be 352 group leaders in that G space where you can interact with them. But with respect to your house, the house secretary is supposed to pull them all together and have them in a G space or a WhatsApp group, whatever it is. So yeah, that's the situation now. And we need to find a way. At least next time this should not be the case. What will be the structure of the meet the candidate session? Okay, Indranil. So yeah, for the prospective nominees of the UHC, meet the candidate session. Yeah, I can kind of give you, I think let me take some few questions and I can give you what are the, questions that you can expect and you can come prepared. And if you could answer those questions, that would be good. Not supposedly only those questions, but at least you could, it would be better if you answer those questions. And to any other questions the public asks you, like the student body, anybody from the student body can ask you. So without the president, who will be the head of the general student body? The head of the general student body is the upper house council. Okay. Leonard, can you speak so that I can clarify more if you want? He's not here. Okay. So the upper house council will be the head of the general student body. So it's not one person, but it is the collective 12 secretaries, 12 deputy secretaries. They would be the head of the general student body. So any decision, it's a collective decision. So
Good evening, ma'am.
yeah, good evening, Ayush.
Akhil the same.
Okay, somebody, fine, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So, actually, can we modify the election manifesto that we have already submitted, ma'am?
Yeah, you should, I think.
Okay.
You can. I think the form closes tonight.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, before that you can, delete it and you can upload it again.
And should we just submit one link, or can we submit a manifesto along with my LinkedIn page, ma'am?
You can give the manifesto and along with you do as you prefer.
Okay,
Like
ma'am.
some people have their website or something, then it would be just one link to take us there. So yeah, it's
Okay.
your choice.
So I'll just link my other profiles in the presentation.
Yeah, that would be better.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So which is the next question? What happens if a group does not have a group leader? If a group does not have a group leader, that group misses a representation in the house council. Okay. If I have to give you a bottom-up approach, there are group members. Okay. You must be part of some group. Okay. Let's assume you are part of group 60. So group 60 should have elected a group leader by now. And that group leader will be part of, let's assume it's in Wayanad House. So the Wayanad House should be having 30 group leaders. So the House Council of Wayanad constitutes the secretary, deputy secretary, web admin, and all the 30 GLs. And if you have a question about how come, like, because the secretary, deputy, and web admins are elected from, they should be elected as a GL first. Only then they can nominate themselves for the upper house council. Okay. In that case, that 3 posts gets vacant. So we have to conduct a re-election, or you can nominate somebody. The group members can choose somebody and say this person would be the group leader. Okay. And in this case, while like if there is a group leader, he forms part of the. 1 second, somebody's. Okay. So in that case, when you have a group leader, that group leader would represent the 30 or 40 group members in the house council. And what does the house council do? House council meets twice in a month or once in a month, and you make decisions for how to help your group members. It could be academics, it could be any kind of support. Basically, one should know leadership is nothing but helping your student community. Okay, when you are a leader, you take responsibility for your group or for your house. So what in case when a group is not having a group leader, that means there is no one to take responsibility for that supposedly group 60. So no one takes responsibility. So if no one is taking responsibility, you would not be the house council meetings. There are two kinds of meetings. You can have the secretary can conduct meeting for all the 1,000 students once in a while. Okay, it's up to the secretary. And otherwise, to make decisions, if they have to make some policy decisions, how to run the house, if a student has some support issue, who is going to contact the support team, and if he has any other, it can be helping, it can be constructive of how to conduct some group study or whatever it is up to the secretary. Secretary is like the chief minister of a state. He does anything for that house. Okay, so just to make it very simple, I'm saying that, I'm putting it that way. For that group, if the group is facing some issue and they want to make some decision how to overcome that problem in the house council meeting, that group will have no representation. Okay, so all the decisions that they make in the house council, because that house council will decide what this house, supposedly Wayanad house, what this Wayanad house requires. And they are the voice of Wayanad house in the upper house council, where all the secretaries, deputy secretaries of other 11 houses, along with this house, like totally the 12 houses, the leaders of the 12 houses meet, and they meet and make some decision. Okay, it can be anything with respect to organizing the student community, conducting activities in the student community, or how they want to participate in the paradox events, or how they want to volunteer. There are n number of things, and also in the future we may open paradox to external other universities or institute to participate. That is our kind of the motivation to conduct. Once we are very strong enough to conduct such events, then we may open it up for outside other institutes to take part. Okay, so the duties, or what a leader of the house, the secretary, what he can do depends on the secretary. Okay, the secretary can take any number of innovative initiatives for the well-being of the overall house, 1,000 or 900 students or whatever it is. So it is like any kind of, why do we have general elections of any, even in a country, when we have a representative, he is the voice of our group. Okay, so if the group doesn't have a group leader, there is no voice for that group. So you will not realize that now. I have seen people, like when there are situations, maybe exam centers, there are emergency situations where they would like to communicate to the POD. Otherwise, you are in a queue. When you write to a support, if something is not going your way, it's getting delayed, but you need some quick decision or quick answer or something, usually the group leaders are kind of, I can say, the nodal point for all the groups to communicate quickly with the POD member and get it done. This is one example. Okay, it can be, for other constructive reasons also. So that group members are missing out. Okay. Yes, and one thing I would like to drive across to everyone is leadership. What we are expecting, be it a secretary, be it a group leader or anything, it is nothing but you are given the opportunity to help your fellow mates, okay, from your group or from your house. So it is just taking responsibility for others and trying a hand how you can prove everyone that you are a capable leader. And it is not about like people may come and ask, okay, you can do n number of leadership courses. Why do we have a student government? Honestly speaking, we can go without a student government and everything will go as usual, because it is an online degree. Why would the the management take such an initiative, and we are putting in so much effort to make you leaders. Okay, and it may be, you may think it is kind of not worth it, or not, it's not, you don't have time. We agree you don't have time, but the only difference is maybe mentors or some people above, they might be having some work experience and they get to have some leadership opportunity. But as students, I can assure you, when you go for your job interview, you already have some experience leading a group of people. It can be even 5 or 10 people, or it can be 1,000. It's not a joke. Okay, when you go for an interview, the confidence that it gives you and the experience that you have gained, and for example, there are many jobs that ask, how was your experience? Tell me one experience where you were a leader, where you face some challenge, many things. And it is just if you have really put in some effort, as even as a group leader, you will have some stories to tell. Okay, so it is just, you can read hundreds of leadership books, you can never be a leader. Unless you experience leadership, you can never become a leader. So that is one thing. We are giving you an opportunity, a platform to kind of experience and prove your leadership, and you also get feedback towards the end of your tenure, what you should correct and what you can do better, many things. Okay, fine, enough of this inspirational talk. Let me, what is the next question? Okay, so having a group leader is very essential. Rohit Kumar. Rohit, if you're here, tell me your group number. If there are no group leaders for your house, if you would like to be a group leader, tell, I can just make you a group leader. Because if no one else has, I'm just giving you an opportunity. It's like even one person, if he votes for himself in a group, he can become the group leader just because he has one vote. Okay, Rohit, are you here?
Hello, ma'am.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah, Urusha.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I have a question like being a group leader or deputy secretary and secretary, how we can, sorry, how we can contribute to the paradox events or any other events like online or offline.
Okay. So basically, students who organize paradox events, who participate organize events, who conduct some any specific events within paradox, they all come from our student community, right? So if we have the secretaries can act as a kind of a nodal person who would encourage participation from your house. That is why even during this Savan, we had a leader board, and we kind of whoever won or whoever participated, we also collected the data from which house they are from, okay, from which house they come, so that we had which house had highest participation, which house had highest winners. And so totally we could come up with a, we do have, currently we were unable to give some trophy or something, but we are planning for some, that is a surprise element. When it comes to December event, we will kind of announce on what kind of trophy it is. So we do have a trophy for the best participating, or the house with the highest points would get the trophy, be it Savan, be it Margali, or be it the annual paradox event. Okay, so if a house has to participate a lot in events or organize an event, it is the duty, obviously the trophy would go to the secretary of the house. Okay. So now I think there was some results pending for Savan event. That's why we didn't announce, and we will announce it soon. So when we want to have the secretaries in place first, because the secretary would be receiving the trophy. Okay, this can be kind of this is how, to conduct the event. You can act as a major channel of communication, who can you can conduct n number of events within your house throughout the year. and you can kind of choose the people, the best people, and send them to Paradox. And you can also be part of the any Paradox organizing event or anything. We are not going to stop you. And we are also thinking how to involve the secretaries, deputies of the UHC in the Paradox event. And I think that we will discuss after the elections in the UHC. Okay.
All right, ma'am.
And what is the next question? Parth Bansal, you have given your roll number. Why?
Ma'am, you said you need to add me in the G Meet, G group, G space. Sorry.
Oh, no, we do have. If you are a GL, we do have the list, right? I was the one who gave you the list. So I do have the list. We will add you.
Okay.
Okay. What are the roles the secretary in the UHC? So far, the secretary of the upper house council, not the upper house council, sorry, somebody has written, it is the house council. The secretary is only for that house council. Okay, if it is a Nilgiri house, he is the secretary of Nilgiri house. You are supposed to conduct meetings, weekly meetings or bi-monthly meetings with all the group leaders, and kind of get feedback with respect to academics, with respect to examinations or course, any kind of problems they are facing, and you can help them out by, you are the major channel of communication between your house members and the POD. Okay, and also the secretary of the house is supposed to conduct student activities, anything related to events, events or competitions, and start a club. Means you are supposed to help your group members start a club. Okay, and all these activities comes under the secretary. Okay, and rest I think I don't want to explain that normal bureaucratic procedures or things that you do as a secretary, the procedural stuff, but in a nutshell, this is what is expected. And not only this, that's what we want the new government to come in place, and we are planning to, even we may revamp the whole structure, and not the structure, the duties and responsibilities, we can work on it. We want something that makes you tick, and also, you know, the student community also benefits. Okay. Ved Samhit, why is there no president this time? Ved, actually, since the beginning of this online program, BS program, we only had the upper house council. Okay, and only by September 21 we conducted election. That is the next level is the student executive council, which consisted of the president, academic affairs secretary, co-curricular affairs secretary, and placement secretary, and student activities coordinator, not secretary, coordinators. Okay. So due to, as I already explained, we dissolved the student executive council, and we plan to go ahead with just the upper house council as the topmost for the student, topmost leadership organization, leadership council for the student community. Okay. So does the secretary replace the roles of the president? Yes, I can say kind of, because the president was responsible for all the 12 houses. Like he is kind of responsible for all the 12,000 students, assuming if there are 12,000 students. But now as a secretary, you would be acting like whatever the president does for the whole community, you would be doing it for the whole house. Like if it has 1,000 members, yes, you are kind of like the president of the SEC. Like it is the same activity that you do at the house level. Thanks, Puneet, for the clarification to Akil. When will the new GL be added to GSpace? It's me, basically. I need help from support team, and we were kind of busy with the registration work. Hopefully, I'll do it in another 1 or 2 days, okay? I believe we first need a smooth flow of information so that every fellow mates engage in and is aware what we are planning. This is from Avijit Palit. As in this meet also, there are many who did not go through the docs and website shared. Thanks, Avijit. So I believe it represents inefficiency in information flow and communication. There are so many communication channels which are actually creating a lot of noise with our rapidly evolving program structure and now and then changing rules. We need a single composite portal like a website or an application which is based on the housing structure. Okay, we need a website, single website. That was our dream too, and we did try during the SEC times. Other than that, I also suggest we can come up with some inter-BS degree social media type portal like Facebook. Okay. Avijit, if you are here in the meet, this is what we are planning to have our mentors help us through with that as well. We are kind of very motivated, how to say it. We have plans, we had plans, we tried to implement, but it was quite difficult. Firstly, students, they are motivated initially, and after a while they drop out. So there is no commitment of time and reliability of that person, that person will be committed to that task until the task is completed. And we don't complain the student, but it is the situation. Many are doing dual another degree as well, and they are working, many other reasons. Okay, so that is why, that was one reason we even did away with the SEC. Just one person putting so much tasks and responsibilities on one person's head, it was kind of difficult. So that's why we thought if it is a UHC, it will be distributed. And as similarly, we are planning to set up some committees, like there is an election committee, they helped us to conduct this election. And we don't want to put anybody into a box and say that you are supposed to do this and you're going to stay for a long period of time. So if you're interested in doing anything such sort, we have something called the technical task force we have started. So anyone who is interested in helping out, building a website or whatever it is, we are not saying no to anything. The only thing is, are you ready to put in that time and effort, in a committed manner until you reach the goal? Okay, we are even ready to open it up like projects. For example, our election team was planning, like, IIT Madras has conducted election using blockchain technology. And similarly, we thought, why not we can also try? But it is not an easy task. So whatever we want, I'm just putting it out to all the students of the, our BS program. If you are interested in taking up some initiative and doing it, you're all most welcome to come. You can approach me. You can come up with a project plan. And this is the plan. These are the resources required. I'm planning to take it forward. If it is feasible and if you can come up with a team, well and good, we'll help you. You can do anything. Okay, it is just up to you. We are ready to help you in a way possible. Okay. So thank you for the suggestion. And really, honestly speaking, we have struggled a lot with the communication. I am struggling from my end, though I can send a bulk email to all the 12,000 students. I am planning, it would be better if I could have the whole student community in one place where we can, where we can communicate quickly. We can have some events calendar where you can just come and click on that day, like just come and check in this day, what are the events available? Can I go and watch? It would be great to have a website. I can assure you there are people even here in this meet who have tried their hands and still they are kind of working. So if you're interested, you can just contact me. I'll put you in touch with them. I want to be group leader, group 150 Kanha House. So Megha, you can message me or mail me or to Student Affairs. If your group doesn't have any leader, or I can, you can be the group leader. When did the group elections occur? Wow. Ayush, are you checking your emails? And there has been, I was kind of feeling that we should not spam you with so many mails. Okay. I think some few are raising their hands. Abhinav first and then Rahul.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Abhinav.
Yeah, ma'am, about this recent election of group leaders.
Mhm.
I mean, our group do not have a leader, so that means our voice won't be there in the
Yes, yes, you will
council.
not be
So
part of,
are you?
exactly.
Yeah, so are you planning for the re-elections or something after the
We-
secretary?
Yes, we can do that. And if in case if no one is interested, like no one is contesting you, and you are the only one who is interested, this is for everyone. If there is going to be only one member who is interested to represent that group, please mail student affairs, and I will, it's considered as a single vote that you vote for yourself, and I will consider like that and give you the post of group leader. Okay.
Okay, I mean that would be more informal, but I mean, is there any chance of re-elections for those groups? I mean, I do not even know who my group members are. I mean, it would be, I mean,
That is why
election without a
Abhinav,
consensus.
see, Abhinav, similarly, there could be either two kind of people in your group. Someone who is in that group for the past whatever terms they are, but they're not interested. And
Okay.
someone like you who are new who would like to be the group leader, but they have not yet contacted others in the group. So in that case, just because but otherwise, any information with respect to elections, we are mailing to everyone. At least you had you have taken the opportunity and you are in this meet and asking a question. So it is okay. So we can nominate you as the group leader. You take the initiative and bring your group together. Okay.
Okay, okay,
It
ma'am.
will be a hard task, but it will be a challenging leadership role.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can mail student affairs and inform which group you are from, and you can say that, I am interested in taking up the GL role. And then, yeah, Rahul, you can have your question.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. I just like you wanted to talk a little bit about what I mean, given the new format and everything, what effectively would be the responsibilities or of mentor in
Second,
this term
mentor.
in the upcoming
This is kind
terms?
of This is kind of a new initiative.
Mhm.
How we are planning is that is why we have asked the mentors to give in what aspect they are interested in mentoring or some area which they are interested in doing whatever it is. So like for example, there is an election committee and they are doing all the work behind the scenes. We are kind of even trying our hands on having a website for the elections. I don't know whether if it is possible now. So similarly, there were some suggestions that it's better that if our student community has a website in place,
Okay.
right? That is so let's assume that we have a team which is planning to build a website with ABC, whatever functionalities they require. And in that case, if you are a person who has some interest in mentoring with the web ops or DevOps or something like that, then we will say for example, let's assume there are 30 mentors who have nominated themselves to participate, and we will call upon the 30, or otherwise we will send a mail to all the 30 mentors and say this is a project or something in hand that we are planning to do. Are you willing to mentor them or
Whoever
be
is
part of the
interested
team?
will,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. So it is like based on your skill set, based on your interest, you can come. It's not only for the academic things, it can be, there is a music society and we are having a drama society and many things to come. This is with respect to other co-curricular activities or
So
even
the mentors
hackathons
can,
and
pitch
anything.
in for any
Yes,
kind of
yes.
support in the co-curricular
Yes.
aspect as well.
Yes, if you're interested, like for example, if
Okay.
you're a great, you have conducted some music shows or something, or you're an instrumentalist, whatever it is, this is you would like to contribute in that area, then you can, when we require, we will say it is like the student affairs will act as, we will do the matchmaking of who requires what kind of, mentoring and the mentor, and we will match you accordingly. So it is based on need based. It's not that
Okay.
you nominate yourself, you will have on need based you work. And then when we'll appreciate you with a certificate or something. just saying that you mentored for such and such role. Okay,
Okay.
rather than just saying, you are a mentor for a house.
Yeah, some
So
kind of
far
a
it was,
token of
yes, yes.
appreciation or something.
No, definitely you will have a token
Yeah.
of appreciation from our end.
Yeah.
And it is not
So,
going to be just for house.
when it comes to supporting different teams who are working on different aspects, so as a mentor, if the mentors are supporting the students or the group in the academics, then I don't know, I'm not sure is the right place to talk about this, but if there was an internship on teaching Python, I believe a few
Yes,
weeks
that
ago.
is from the academic side they are
That
doing
is from the
mentor for
academics,
Python.
yeah.
Yeah, this is for student affairs, literally.
Yeah. So, there could be something wherein a few mentors are helping the others who really need some kind of support in case of some subjects or anything of that such, is it? I mean, you were talking about the strengths of particular mentors who are nominating themselves.
Yes, yes.
So all these things would also be potentially involved, is it?
Yes, it is more like not so formal that we are recruiting for some job or something.
No, of
But
course not.
but maybe, see, for example, you may not have certain skill. You're not a very skilled person. But if you are interested as a hobby, you may be a musician. As a you may be doing it as a hobby. But still, if you want to contribute in that way, you can even go till for the Paradox event. We do have a music society. You can
Yes.
be part of that and help them in organizing it or whatever it is, whatever role you want. So it's all co-curricular, and doesn't mean that we don't want any technical skills. We do want, like as I said, we want, it would be great if we can build some website, if we can have an app specifically only for our students, the whole student community. And then we can have, we would be conducting, many of our students are conducting hackathons. You can be part of that hackathon teams, mentor them, and entrepreneurial case studies, workshops, many things are there. These are all part of the student affairs or student activities. So mentoring is for this. For academic purposes, our academic team is kind of separately approaching you for that. Okay.
I mean, this is more of co-curricular or extracurricular kind of
Yes,
support.
exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Urusha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a suggestion. As you said, this upcoming events will include the houses, and all the winners will be in the form of a individual house. So
Yes.
in the
I need to clarify. Sorry for taking your question, but just because this is a new thing that as before the group leaders were not elected. Okay, they were kind of chosen informally by the group, and the group will just inform us. But this was the first time we conducted elections like properly. We know which group leader got the highest number of votes. Indirectly it shows that group is very active, something like that. Similarly, for the House Council elections, so far it has been that all the 30 group leaders used to elect the secretary and deputy secretary, but now it's all the 1000 or 900 members of the house will be choosing the secretary and deputy secretary. It's kind of, we are giving the direct voting rights to every student, okay, if they are part of the any house.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
So in this case, there are the groups that has no group leader also has a voting right for the secretary at least.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, go on.
And we can have that more involvement as well.
Yes, and for example, if the secretary is really creative and he has the reach of 900,000 people or students, okay, and it is a mixed variety of diversity which is spread across India, and different age groups. There may be some CEOs or some entrepreneurs even in your, who might be a member of your house. If you're lucky, they might be active. Okay, but still, so this is kind of a very good platform to test your leadership skills and organization skills and management skills. Okay, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's it, Urusha.
Actually, ma'am, I was thinking to suggest as the upcoming events will be based on the, like, our winners will be individually houses, so we have to be more active on social media platforms to advertise things, like more people will know. But as you said right now, that
Exactly.
all the members will know what all the members will vote the secretary.
Hmm.
So maybe all the members will involve more in the houses activity as well.
I
So
wish we could come up with some solution, because so far, like I know we are lacking in
yeah,
that area, which is very important because it is an online program. Okay.
yeah.
So,
Actually, I was thinking we are missing from the advertising thing. Like we have more events in Savan, and
mm-hmm,
many they were very good events, but
mm-hmm,
many of us don't know. Like in YouTube, there were a thumbnail problem from my side. Maybe I'm not correct here, but
mm-hmm.
all the events got the same thumbnail. So as a audience, people go with the thumbnail click,
Yeah,
but
got it.
yeah, thumbnail click. So if every individual uh, events get a individual thumbnail which show their represents that, which thumbnail represent the particular event, that will get more views maybe,
Okay, fine.
because people will choose their interest and they select those videos, but all videos will get the thumbnail. So this is just a single example from my
One
side.
point, exactly. No,
Yeah,
we are doing really badly in social media and publicity with respect to events even. And I can say it is also reflected in the elections and everything. So as we all
um,
discussed again and again, we really need a strong website
exactly,
and a social media for all the 12, 13,000 whatever student community now we'll be getting soon. Okay.
exactly.
So we
Yeah,
really need some,
also,
yeah.
if like we have a position for web admin, so
Hmm.
someone web admin, like we also have someone who is very creative with the social media thing, because the point is we have 12,000 to 15,000 people in our community, but all not are very free, like to read all the whole PDF thing or
Mm-hmm.
email. So or sometimes many are students, so they were have exams, so
Right.
they don't get time to read that email, or they miss the information. So we should have the individual, we have Instagram pages, individual groups, but they are not very much active, but
Mm-hmm.
they should have, like we have events.
Urusha, yeah, on that note, we are already planning to roll out a form
All right.
for building a social media and publicity team for Paradox, which is for Margali as well as for the annual Paradox. And because it is just we are going to open it up for all the 12,000 students, and it can be whoever has the merit, they would be selected and they can head. Otherwise, they can head and they can also come, and we collect the team, and then we can find the leader who will take care of the team. These are all very good opportunities for people, to run the
Exactly.
digital campaigning and everything. You can try your hands on anything. Who is going to give
Yeah.
you the crowd to experiment? Even companies don't have that leisure. Okay.
Yeah. One more thing, ma'am, last one. I really appreciate your efforts. Like we all are being a group leader, and for 1 year, I was also group leader of Group 13. We
Mhm.
saw your efforts, and whole the team, ITM support team, will reply us very fast. So I am on the behalf of our group and all the community. I really thankful to you to give us this much importance or reply us and give us that much effort of yours. Thank you
That's
so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It is our duty. Okay. Thank you, Rishabh.
Okay.
Kunal Chaturvedi.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so ma'am, just following upon what currently Urusha said, like a similar thing which I'm seeing from some time is that we have a large crowd, but initially from the start we have a problem of not enough people participating in internal events, like
Mm-hmm.
even on the group levels, even on the house levels, and even on events that are at the degree level. So one thing that what I feel is lacking from the start is obviously the student community website, or somewhere where people are actually visiting day to day and viewing all the events that are present. Um, and like I think there was a talk about some student activity event calendar, but we could even start start again on that. Apart from that, I think there is an urgent need for a conversation or a chat like platform where students can more easily communicate with each other. Like what happens currently is we are focusing on emails, and or like there is a sort of communication, but it is only between the student and the IITM BS team. uh, there is not enough internal or interpersonal communication between
Yes, we don't
students.
have one platform where all the 12, 13,000 students are together. We don't have. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what we have been working on, and I could say I spent one whole term with the president of SCC from September to April on trying to find a solution. We tried getting an third-party app, and yeah, due to some reasons, it got it didn't work out. And they also, the SEC tried hard to build a website, which is kind of still halfway through, and that team is trying to work on it again. So anyone who is interested in contributing in any way, where do you think it's like we have such a huge community, but we don't know how to communicate. If someone, it's like if I have a problem solution for a hackathon, it's like this. We have such a huge community, we can't communicate easily, we want to be in the same platform. What is the solution? If someone can give a solution or come up with a project or come up with a team saying yes, we are planning to do this, and don't be very ambitious. Okay, first thing, you are a student, you might be doing another education, something, you might be working. So be a bit realistic and just come minute by minute or hour by hour. These many hours is required to build such a things, and these are the resources, be it money wise and manpower, how much, all these things you put together. And if it is feasible, and if you have a team that is ready to commit, it will be great. You can approach, you just write to me, I'll help you. Okay, let's have this discussion with a specific team some other day. Okay, thank you.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, Mrityunjay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, as Kunal said that we need to build an application for students to interact. Actually, networking is very important here because certain events actually will be good if we have team-based events. And if there was some proper system of networking, then it would be much better. But secondly, ma'am, if we have problems regarding people not taking up duties, and if they are motivated in the beginning and they are not in the end, ma'am, we can make them sign an agreement like you have to do this particular work in this particular term. So then the work will be also done, and people also do not just take up the position just to put it on their resume or something like that. Ma'am, and also I'd like to thank you for
Mrityunjay, we were kind of bit strict initially with respect to the upper house council group leaders, and as a few of them might know, I had a monthly meeting with every house council, and we had a reporting. We still do have, but I am not talking about this because I just don't want to be having this top-down approach of asking you, report to me, how many meetings did you have? Did you meet all the people? Whether this group is active? What is all this reporting about? It has no value if students are not motivated to do it, right? This is already yeah, so we cannot, as you say, I cannot say them sign an agreement, something like that. It's kind of bit of a gentlemanly agreement that, you take up this role and you finish it. It is what have you done as a secretary when you turn back after 3 terms or, whatever. So you turn back and see that I have achieved these things. So when you write it on your resume, it is of no worth if you just say, I was a secretary from this month to this month. No. What did you do as a secretary? Nobody knows, right? If you don't say, no one will realize even that you were a secretary for 1,000 students. Okay. There might be secretary who has manned only some 10 students or 20 students. And what you did as a secretary, the thing is, if you could just show kind of a portfolio to the future employer, or you being an entrepreneur, if you show something that I have achieved all these things, it looks like a work experience, right? So whether you want just a label as a secretary of this house, and just holding some certificate, it will not have any value. If you are not sitting across the table, the other person will know what you have done, if you were a real secretary or just a secretary on paper. Okay, if you have really acted as a secretary, that will show during your interview, or it might be in general life also. In anywhere you go, it will show. And it will show in our student communities activities also. We would be successful, and you would have contributed to the organization, to the IITM as well. Okay, and I have to say that IITM campus people were impressed by the way our students organized Paradox and all. I'm not saying that it was great, but still, as online students, for example, assume that the music team, they have never met each other, but they all performed together on one stage, and I know they didn't have even a space to sit together and practice. A jam room, we with so much difficulty we got it for 1 hour or something in the the SAC building, and they did it. So this is the when with no real life sitting together and doing something just by online, when they can come together and do such a thing, that is the that is how you have to show your capability, you as a real IITian. Anyway,
Ma'am, also I'd like to say that, ma'am, students are often motivated, but there are a few trollers in some groups. Like they say negative things about the course, and students are very, they get demotivated. Like, ma'am, I also mailed support teams many times, but they said that talk with the admins.
who is sorry, who is talking?
Ma'am, Mrityunjay.
Mrityunjay. Okay, fine. Mrityunjay, I'll tell you what, be it this organization, be it a company, be it a family, anywhere you go, or even if you are an influencer in Instagram or anything, there will be trolls, even in YouTube. Wherever you go, some negative energy is going to stay. That is the side effect of being open society or whatever it is. So you don't mind about it. The only thing is, it's general from the, what do you say, harassment or that point of view. What I say is, if you are a group member and if somebody is posting some negative comments, and if it is not in the official platform or G space, but it is in your Google space, WhatsApp or Telegram, your private space, it doesn't come under official, right? If it is in such platforms, if you have some group or community for whatever purpose, maybe your group or something else, if someone is misbehaving, spreading some negative remarks or something, the members of that group along with the admin or something, you can make a decision and block him and remove him from that group. Okay, if necessary, if that person complains, you can mail us as well, to the grievances cell as well.
I also had one more idea, like if we could have a hackathon, like a regular hackathons from IITM side on based on blockchain or else web development, so that we could build particular applications or websites or portals for our use for the student community.
Okay, Mrityunjay, I think I also got a bit carried away. Let's have a different discussion. You feel free to write to me. We can have a different meeting to discuss about that. But let's only election related. Let's kind of have a talk and finish, because we have already crossed the time, 8 o'clock.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Anand Ballab.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. I joined a bit late. So, ma'am, what is the, I am a part of a group, that group ID is 140, and its name is like Sundarban House, right? So, ma'am, I'm not seeing any activity or any group created in my WhatsApp or any, in my IITM dashboard. So, I mean, it's started already.
It's not in the IITM dashboard. So far, the groups, usually students prefer WhatsApp. They have a WhatsApp group, and they generally, the existing group leader or the previous group members, based on the list that we share, they will add the new members to it, or the secretary of the house will add. And unfortunately, last one term was kind of without much leadership. So yeah, after this election, I think things will fall in place.
Okay, so right now I was worried. It means I have not been added, right? So I will be added later on.
Yes, you will be added. If you are part of a house or group, we will see to that once the newly elected, that is the first task of the newly elected secretary.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Let's have quick. Oh, 1 second. Deependra.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, what's about a candidate session? What will have to do in a candidate session?
Meet the candidate session. It's kind of from our side. Oh, yeah, I can share with you also. 1 second, if you can. Okay, lots of questions. I think in the meet the candidate session, we'll just ask a few questions as a secretary. What are you willing to do? What are the things that you would like to change from the previous house secretary? And yeah, some questions like that. If you're going to take up that leadership role, you must be having a plan for the house, right? That this is what I'm going to do. This is what is not well in my house. I would do this better. Something like that. Okay. And you can be creative also, and feel free to be creative and say that, don't stick to the points that we say that you have to do. You can come up with more ideas, and maybe that can be included. Fine. It is just to show to the group members or the student community at large that you are capable of doing something, and these are your plans and how you're going to do it. Dave Jain.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead. Let's do it quick. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my question is, ma'am, where can we share our manifesto? Because not everyone don't open their Gmails to check them. So where can we do that?
Are you part of your house space? You have some G space or something where all your house members are there? No.
Yes, I am.
You can, publicize your manifesto there, and you can also call on for a meeting on something. You be creative. Okay, if I keep telling, then I am not the one who is running for the secretary. Be creative and use that space, and or you can have even separate meetings with each group leaders and call whoever group members are present. And I know it's going to be a very difficult task. When I can't summon them, you can't. So it's up to you.
Ma'am, not everyone open the spaces, right? Because earlier I sent space my event related thing of Paradox, the next market wizard.
I get the point. See, I could say communication is the first block that we have to handle once the new UHC comes. Okay, but now try your wits. Okay, it's up to you. Just try anything new and try to reach as many members of your house for the election. Make them vote.
So can I just chat with them on the Google Chats separately
Yes,
with each student?
Yes, use your student ID and do anything.
No, ma'am, but sorry to interrupt, but the last time when I did so for the event, I think I have mailed around lots of students, and someone complained that I am mailing them.
Yes, that you are spamming or whatever it is, but that is what I'm saying. If there is a space where all the, I saw Sundarban's house as like Bandipur house, they do have a space where all the 1,000 or 900 members are part of that space. In that space, you can put up posters. You can also announce that you can have a meet or something where you can, have a Q&A session with them and do the propaganda, You do anything. It's up to you. Fine. Okay. Let me quickly. Okay. Anand Ballab.
Sorry, ma'am, I already spoke. I forgot to read my
Okay.
hand.
Once I'll just quickly go through the questions some people have written. What if one particular group of students only always hold powerful positions? It is not possible. It's going by elections, so no one can hold. I know it's going to be difficult if somebody has an upper hand in your house. So it's kind of, if you want to be a leader, you have to find some innovative ways to get the attention of others in a right way and come up. And what is the difference between role and responsibility of secretary and deputy secretary, and what is the role of web admin? So it's from Dipendra Pratap Singh. Secretary and deputy secretary, it's kind of a similar role. As you know, we have no time. You can read the doc, and anything additional to what is given in the doc can also be done. And deputy secretary is doing the same role, but kind of assisting the secretary, you can say, or working along with the secretary. And it can be a good stepping stone to become the next secretary, because you can prove yourself at times to the house members and you get popular. And then next time when you stand for the post of secretary, you know, it's a easier way to win the people. And what is the role of web admin? For now, you must have checked that there are, for 12 houses, there are 12 websites. The links are there in the student life in the online degree page. So yeah, you have to maintain the website. And whatever we were discussing so far, for the whole community, we wanted to have a website where everyone can communicate to each other easily, and there is a centralized channel of announcement or propaganda or something, whatever it is. So whatever we were discussing for the whole student community, the same can be done for within your for your house. Okay, so that is basically the role of web admin. And it doesn't stop there. It's also the social media, publicity, everything you do. So being a GL, the only duty is to help others. But what if a group is not active and don't need any help and issues? Then how can I contribute or work? In that case, if no one wants your help, yeah, it's a bit difficult. You can't go and ask them that I will help you. So nothing much can be done. But if at all, because the group leaders are kind of part of a local community, like you are from the same town or somewhere close by physically, I know some groups who do conduct like they arrange some meetups. They all meet physically, probably sometimes after exams, and they get to know each other, and this helps them in their studies. And you know, generally also there are people who don't go to physical colleges, so for them it is helpful. So it is up to you, as I said, for being a leader. Like if no one is motivated, no one is interested, you can try some new way to get them involved. And there is a point beyond that. If no one is interested, don't end up being, we don't want to receive complaint against you that she is, he or she is just disturbing us. So try a bit, and you should know the point where you should stop, because it is their right. If they are not interested, they are not interested. So leave them. And anyway, you can be part of the house activities. And that is a good way to participate. And how many members should a group have on average? That you don't decide, we decide. So we, based on number of people in the exam city, sometimes it's only 20 people and sometimes it's even 60 people in a group. Oh, Soumya Brata has already answered that. If students are doing multiple degrees and already very busy, why not give such opportunities like first preference to those who are doing this degree as their only degree? See, we need not say that, this guy is doing only the BS degree, so vote for him. You, as a leader who is contesting, has to go and say, see, I am just doing only this BS degree full time, so I have all the time in my hand to contribute. So this makes sense, student automatically will vote for you because you are more reliable and committed. To do groundwork on campus? No. GLs are not meant for any groundwork on campus, but if there are any paradox related events and if you are willing to volunteer, that is a separate section, you can contribute there. And if students are doing multiple, okay, it's already there. We need access to basic FAQs. I can't count the number of times when the new term is starting in the past few days. Okay, this is unfortunately, we are in such a place where people don't read the documents, don't read the email, and they keep asking questions. So from the management side, I know how, bad it is that people don't read the email. And I have to say, if you want to be part of IITM, I think you should get used to reading as many number of mails, at least to a sensible level. And you need, you should have the sensibility to go through the document and understand it. It is part and parcel of the process of becoming an IITian, right? Not only IITM, in general, in any college or anything, if you're doing a degree, you need to do that. So FAQs, we can try. Yes. But I understand if a person is not reading email and anything, I don't know whether he'll read the FAQ also. Somebody doesn't know which group he is from. Deepak Kumar, I think you must have received a mail from us giving a sheet where you can do Control F and search for your number and see which group and house you are from. Geographic locations, groups are still, yes, groups are based on exam centers. Whichever exam center you have given, we allot groups based on that exam center. If you want to change it, write to Student Affairs. And don't keep it as a habit of every 6 months changing your group, okay? We have a record of how many times, maybe once or twice. Yeah, Prakash? Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Many have already answered the questions. So, tough development execution plan of developing the portal. Okay, these things are different. Anything else with respect to, okay, Anushka, you can ask your question.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, I was the one who asked about the strength of the group because I have a friend who is in separate group, but they have a strength of around 100. I think it's exactly 100. But our group has only 21 people and half of them are not active. And I thought there should be more members because I'm from Delhi and I'm pretty sure there are a lot more, there could be a lot more members who can be more active. People could interact more.
Yes, there is there is a discussion going on that we may have to reallocate also. Okay,
Yeah,
I think
because I did become the GL of my group, but and I have some friends in my group, but I can't make a lot of interaction. V6 can meet, of course. V6, 7 people have friendship. We could meet. We can make different plans, but others won't be included, and there won't be any progress then. Like I won't be having any different tasks except if any have any issue which I could.
if yeah, if you have any suggestions or something, and if you think you can write to me later, okay?
Okay.
So we are already running past the time. I think we need to close. Someone has asked, is a group possible for students from outside India? Yes, groups are allotted even for people outside India. We do have 1 or 2 groups for people from Sri Lanka, UAE and all. Can we have an item-based media body which would, yeah, definitely. These things are for other discussions. I hope first let's finish the elections, and after, when the new elected UHC comes into place, these are the agenda points that we need to discuss. I think on that note, I'm looking forward to a higher participation in the UHC elections. Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Puneet, any final word on that?
Sure. Okay. This is a brilliant meeting. Okay. So, firstly, I'll just quickly go through the points. A lot of them have been addressed by Kudai ma'am already. So, big thanks to you, Kudai. Mrityunjay, you made us feel that we were participating in a UHC or a group leaders discussion. You had so many ideas. So I hope you're going to be active. So, all the best. Before answering your question, I'm going to give you a quick background. When we started this, we took baby steps and we did some experiments in student government about houses, groups, uh, student activities, student affairs, internships, placements, mentoring programs, even the paradox. The whole idea started off with baby steps, and they all took off. Look at that. So we need now more active students, more qualified students like you to take it to the next level. And you have to understand that the next batches of our students will not be having a second degree like many of you have. They will be coming out of class 12, and this will be the only degree program they're going to be joining. So they will be more active here. Okay. So that being said, I would also like to circle back to some sessions Kodai ma'am had organized with the faculty advisors who advise us how to run the student government comparable to how the campus runs it. And one of the key points was the general elections. that we don't want few people electing the leaders. We want the whole student community electing the group leaders, electing the secretaries. So that's something Student Affairs has done now, that we'll have general elections. Okay, moving on about GLs. So GLs are the only elected members who are directly representing students, and they have direct access to Kodai and the rest of the POD through that G space. So make use of that to help your groups and let it work, communication work both ways. And this was already answered. You're also going to remember that you'll be working with other committees. There is a class committee that takes care of academics, the internships team, there's a paradox team, there are a whole lot of other teams and groups which you will start networking with. So make use of that. Okay. So a lot of questions asked about the president and the SEC. The SEC was also was elected to take care of common executive tasks like planning all events, program-wide events, and also explore things like the student constitution, whether it's feasible for us or not. So they had a committee there also. So they have done their work. Now we are taking the first steps of implementing those things, and that's where you guys come in. Okay, so I'm just quickly going through the questions. Indranil, Dependra, meet the candidate session. It's just a couple of hours. So each of you will get like a time to do an elevator pitch, 90 seconds, and then we'll open up to general question answers. And also this meet the candidates will be an icebreaker for among the candidates as well as the others, your house students. Okay, so make use of that. Abhinav, good questions. GL elections and re-elections could be done every term for people joining, leaving. You can bring it up and during your tenure. Rahul asked about the mentors. Rahul, one point that I'll add, Kodai, the mentors list will be dynamic, all right? There is no fixed term for the mentors, as Kodai ma'am explained. So we will keep adding, removing mentors. Rohit, I think Pratham has already answered your question about group changes. So at Kodai, Yashwant, okay, what can we do as a first-time leader? Firstly, get to know your group members, get them organized and win their trust. Okay, Yashwant, Avijit, Urusha, Kunal, all of you had great ideas. There are so many platforms, websites, dashboard, WhatsApp. Maybe the first thing you do need is to have a reliable information platform. Okay, so that's something you guys could work for. Dave, you asked about a channel. We as the election committee will also be posting all your profiles and your information on the election website once the nominations close. Okay, Anushka had already answered. All right, so as Kodai said, the future is all about inter-house events, inter-house competitions. So we need your house to be active and good representation from your houses. Okay, and I would like to seal the end by acknowledging that there are other mentors in the election committee who are unavailable right now: Sajid, Nufal, Ravi, and Yash. So thanks to them all. That's it. Thank you, guys.
And one last question from Lokesh. The meet the candidate is not for the mentors, Lokesh. It is just for the secretaries, deputy secretaries, and web admins. Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Puneet, for some clarity on the questions. So thank you. Yes, Abhishek.
Yeah, so mentors don't need to be attending any of such kind of sessions.
No, we'll have a separate, because they are not contesting any elections. Okay. So it is only we directly meet, Student Affairs can have a separate meeting with the nominees of all the mentors who have nominated themselves.
But
then from then on we can.
But I can still be just part of it, just to know.
Yes, you may not be the one who would be answering the questions, but you can ask questions to the upcoming secretaries, deputies who are, it is open for all the students. Anyone can come and question the nominees for the house council elections. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think we can close the meet.
Thanks, guys. Wish you all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.